Hey everybody, it's Ben Clark at Queen City Clay, and today I wanted to take you through a technique that I put in the parlor trick category. Now, chattering, parlor trick, stretching with sodium silicate, definitely a parlor trick. And those things they're techniques that are great to know, and they're fun, and they make cool pots. But they're also those same tricks that you use when you're doing a demo for people and you want to kind of wow the crowd with something magic that happens on the wheel real fast. So let's set this up for you. We've all been there where you're at a pottery jam session at your studio and you're done, and so you pack up, you throw your potter's wheel on your back, and you're headed home, and Tina calls and she says, hey, party at my house, you know, chips, salsa, whole deal. And we're gonna have a campfire. So you don't have time to drop your wheel off and change. This happens to everybody. And you decide to just head over there. And so you party and you're sitting out at the campfire and someone says, hey, is that a potter's wheel on your back? And you say, oh, yeah, this thing? Yeah, I didn't have time to take it home. And they'll say, oh, do you play? I mean, throw? Yeah, I do. Oh, would you play us a little, throw us a little something? And that's when, you know, you can just warm up the crowd a little bit, get your clay centered, do your normal thing, you know, open up and maybe talk them through what you're doing. But for this video, we're just gonna get to the good part and get some height. Now, they're intrigued at this point because it's the wheel and it's exciting and the clay moves in really fun ways, you know, but they don't know what's coming, all right? So we're gonna get some height here and work this out. And at some point we'll add a couple of tools because gotta use some tools. So I'm going to get this cylinder to about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I'm going to leave a little bit to do something to the base. And so once I have my height, I'm going to get some water out of there, narrow this in, and start to clean this up a little bit. Now this is when you dramatically reach for your favorite pick. Rib. Okay, so swing. Okay, you make a little sound when you do that, and then get in there and start the smoothing process. Okay, now we want a nice clean cylinder for this, and there are hundreds of shapes that work well with this technique we're going to talk through, but for right now, let's just look at a nice finished cylinder. And for those of you who throw a little bit slower and you clean along the way, remember, this is a campfire, okay? So the clay dries really fast, so you really got to pull quick. And once you get that height and get it nice and clean with the rib, then we might go ahead and finish the base. Maybe give it a little bit of a soft curve. And give it some sort of finish on the top. And at this point, we go to the parlor trick. So this is just a nice standard surface. It's smooth, and we've removed the throwing rings, and we've got a nice expanse, okay? And so if you take your left middle finger and place it right where the floor and the wall meet, and then you're gonna take the pad of that finger, not the end, but the pad, and lean it just a little bit. So as the clay is spinning by your finger, you're not at an aggressive angle, and push out to the right about a 1/2 inch and pull up. just like putting a spiral line on the outside of the pot, we're going to stretch the pot and put a spiral from the inside. So you reach down and press out and move up. At this point, you generally wait for a few minutes for the crowd to react, you know, lots of oohs and ahs and oh my gosh and, you know, that type of stuff. And then before you take a bow, just make sure that you clean your hands, because people are going to want to hug you and stuff after that. And so you don't want to get clay all over their back, and, you know, that's just not polite. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you want to take this one step further, you can always do a little cut back, wire this off, and maybe push the bottom up with your knee a little bit and then oval it from the bottom, and that gives it a nice look as well. I call this one Stairway to Heaven. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.